Hello and welcome to the Gallant View Daily News for the 28th of October 2024. My name is David Tomlinson. I'll be your host today, and with me is Jack Smith. Jack, how are you on this grey, wee bit sunny? The sun's trying to break through the clouds, but it's no making it. How are you in Glasgow?
Grey, good, but also just a wee bit grey. And that's if the clocks have went back, forward, whatever it does the other night. So that it was a wee bit brighter this morning, but it'll be really dark early on. So it's that right horrible time of year.
Yeah, we'll need to get. I hate that as well. We'll need to get used to that again. But the years just seem to fly past. So before you know it, you're putting the clock the other way again, forward. So, but I used to never could remember whether they were going forward or backwards. I always struggled to remember what way it was until somebody said that it's spring forward, fall back. So spring and fall, and that's the way I remember now. Spring forward, fall back. So maybe I'll help somebody with it. It's got that problem as well.
I struggle with it, Davey, and after you've told me that 5 minutes later, I'll totally forget. I just struggle with it.
Well, it's probably worth forgetting anyway, but it's just not. It helps me. That's the way. The big news for today, going on to the Rangers news, of course, is that John Souttar and Tom Lawrence are very, very doubtful for, according to Clement's presser yesterday. He sort of said that they were doubtful. They didn't know whether they would be playing on Wednesday. With a forum of Proper, that's going to be a big miss, Jack.
Aye, Proper, who I was kind of wasn't too sure on. I'd seen a couple of moments where I thought he looked all right, looks an all right footballer, and then I'd seen a couple of moments he went the other way. Well, the last few games, he's certainly going the way we don't want him to go, and John Souttar's going to be a big miss if he's not available. Yeah,
that's for sure. And I would imagine the only other way to go is putting Casavilla in the back to centre half. I would imagine. I mean, Tavernier will be playing right back anyway, so that's the only other way I think we could go. Maybe Sterling, but I doubt that. He's not really tried Sterling in that position, so I would imagine it would be Casavilla. I don't see him playing. I don't see him playing Proper. Do you think he would dare to throw out Proper again?
Yes. If he doesn't play Proper, I wouldn't be playing him. I don't think a lot of people would be playing him. But if Proper doesn't play, then that's us admitted already that he's not up to the job if he's not trusted to play in a big game. And he was signed in the centre half to apparently replace a centre half kind of mainstay in the Rangers team for a few years. So if Proper's no up to it, then as brutal and extreme as it might sound, you'd be wanting to get rid of him in January because there's no point having him on the bench either. A bit of a brutal assessment jumping in the guy, but he doesn't look up to it, unfortunately, David. Don't know if you agree or not.
Yeah, well, I talked to a lot of my friends are FC20 supporters. In fact, I'm going to be talking to one tonight. And they all say he's a good player. So I don't really know. Is it a confidence thing that he's sort of lost his confidence? But he seems to make a lot of funny decisions, putting in slide tackles that he's absolutely no. The only thing that's going to happen is he's taking himself out of the play, and he seems to make an awful lot of decisions. And I mean, that guy, striker for St Mirren, he ragdolled him yesterday, didn't he?
He did, and he's not the first player in Scotland to get the better of him. I think I go back to the old Firm game he played, and I get that can be a hard one to go into, but the first goal he done a slide tackle, and I think he's still sliding down London Road, if you remember one. I mean, at the first goal, which, and I think it was Alistair Johnson. I could be wrong. I think it was him that broke into the box. Could be wrong, and he's put the ball across. And see, as a defender, you need to wait before he commit, but he commits right away. So I think a good striker or a good player knows you can see him moving and will just move the ball the other way. I don't want to totally write him off, but I don't see him coming back for this. And I know these 20 fans are telling you he's good, David, but maybe these FC 20 fans are all Dutch Dale Boy and Rodneys that just wanted a quick couple of pounds to get him out the door.
No, I mean, he was their captain, so I mean, he must have done quite good. And 20 didn't buy him for nothing, so I take it he was good. I don't know. I haven't got in front of me what his where he actually came from, but no, I don't know. As I say, it might be a confidence thing, but it just makes so many. I think he realises he's not going to get the ball, and thinks, well, I'll put in a slide tackle, and it makes it look as if I've been trying my best. You know, that's a sort of a thing. I think
that might work with your pals down the park or a low level of football. Any decent professional player knows that if you're going to commit to the slide, but not very convincingly, they'll just take a good touch and look up and play elsewhere. But no totally writing him off, but if he's no part of the manager's plans, if he's no playing on Wednesday, it's a big indicator of where he is, and you'd be just wanting to move on for that as soon as possible.
Well, he did huckle him on Sunday. Sorry, he did yesterday. So it's sort of the writing is on the wall. I mean, he obviously preferred Casanwija yesterday. So I would find it strange if he huckled him yesterday and then played him in Wednesday, to be honest with you.
That would be strange. And I've seen Rangers do strange things like that in the past, so it doesn't always mean anything. But no, I think it says a lot that Casemiro, a younger, inexperienced player, was trusted ahead of him to see the game out than proper. And I was actually quite impressed with. I've been impressed with Casemiro anywhere he's played across the back four, but I was really impressed how comfortable he was. I like Sterling. I thought Sterling had a brilliant game against Celtic last year at centre half, but I don't know if he's played enough football to get thrown into this game. So I'd be going with Casemiro and Balogun as it stands if we've no got Suter.
Yeah, well, I would imagine that'll be the way. I mean, King, he seems to be, although he's on the bench a lot, he seems to be well out the reckoning these days.
I think King's only there because his contract's keeping him there. If you get what I mean, I don't think he's in any plans, and it's probably best for Leon King and Rangers and everybody if he just gets his career moving elsewhere, probably.
Yeah. The other sort of a big news was the Dessers penalty claim. I've seen it back, and I think the keeper did touch him. And you know that if somebody touches your trailing leg, it breaks your stride and you fall.
Huh?
But this seems to be. It seems to be that everybody seems to be getting in their pants, especially on the BBC. Stephen Thompson was saying he's falling far too easy. He should just stay on his feet, and this seems to be really irritating him.
Well, Stevie Thompson played for a Rangers team which had players like Avaladze, McCann, Lovenkrantz, who were very clever at leaving their foot in and winning fouls. It's part of football, so I don't know why Stephen Thompson's so irked about it. I like Stevie Thompson as a player, as a pundit. I'm not too keen on him, and he seems to get himself really upset. He should know as a striker and as an attacking player, as you said, it doesn't take much to bring you down if you're moving at pace. Now, I don't think the goalkeeper clattered him, but he has caught him. But the rules seem to have changed. The rules seem to benefit defenders, goalkeepers, and I'm beginning to think that the rules are now getting made up with people that have never actually played, not even football at a good level. I think they're getting made up with computer geeks and negative people that just don't want are taking the fun out of football.
Yeah, well, I mean, the rules are absolutely getting beyond a joke now. I mean, nearly every.
I don't know the rules now. Now, it's not enough to be a foul. Catching you's catching you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems to be that every foul's a yellow card, which is going to make it. I mean, yesterday, yellow card for Rangers in the second minute was an absolute joke. But it just seems to be that Rangers players are open to this. I mean, Yefty, some of the yellow cards he's had a joke as well.
Tavia's at Rugby Park last week was an absolute shambles. The guys literally just ran into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, you don't seem to be able to even foul them. There's just somebody, and yesterday there was I can't remember who it was, but a Rangers player get pushed in the back, and he never get yellow. It was far worse than what Igmani did, and never get anything. So yeah, I don't know. I don't mind them giving decisions, but they've got to be sort of the same for everybody, and not.
If you're going to be a strict referee, stick with it for both teams.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't find that. I find the other thing that was yesterday was that what Michael Stewart's shouting from the rafters is that the St Mirren striker, that Casemiro brought him down. Now, I've seen it from all the angles on the television, obviously the angles that far were looking at as well. And for me, it wasn't, you couldn't really see whether it was a foul or not. But seemingly the BBC, I don't know whether they've had an extra camera there or something like that they could make it out. But this just seems to be the same every. I don't watch sports scene that often, to be honest with you. I watch it now and again, but it just seems to be that everything that happens to Rangers, they sort of amplify it and pick out, and it seems to be Stewart that does it.
Michael Stewart is just torture. He's hard work. He's a hard listen. He's a bitter man. The commentary, he's clueless. Talking about football, when I was working the other night, I had the Aberdeen United game on the radio, and when he's talking during the game, he is brutal. He's moaning about an England penalty at the Euros, which was months ago, got nothing to do with Aberdeen United. I think, see next time Netflix or Amazon want to make a documentary about crazy ex-wives or crazy ex-husbands that never got over anything, I think you should make a documentary with Michael Stewart not getting over, not getting a Rangers contract, because he has mulked his Rangers bias, anti-Rangers bias, for years. It's incredible. And I don't know if he's ever going to hear this or his family are ever going to hear it, but I don't know. I think I detest him more than anybody that's ever been involved in Scottish football.
Did he come through the Manchester United academy? I think, didn't he? And then done a trial for Rangers.
He was in Holland, went to Holland or Germany. We done pre-season, had a trial. He wasn't up to it, and he ended up at Hearts. That was his level. Not a bad player. Was never up to the level of Rangers or Man United, even above that. He's just such a bitter man, and he never gets challenged on it. And it annoys me when there's ex-Rangers players on with him, no challenging him, because he is a horrible. See how he's a horrible person.
I wonder why he's not got a mad hate for Manchester United. I mean, you never hear him on about Manchester United doing that, so it's so strange.
He made a comment about Roy Keane. Did you hear about this? He said something about Roy Keane, and Roy Keane said something along the lines of, "Oh, that was that rubbish, wee, ugly guy for Scotland for a trial," and I don't remember much about him. So that's what the hierarchy of Man United think of Michael Stewart.
Anyway, I'll move on because I don't want to give him any more oxygen than he deserves, to be honest with you. But Stephen Robinson, he went shooting after the referee after the game, and yeah, it was over the penalty as well, that they should have had a penalty. As I say, I don't think for the referee for FAR to change their mind, it's got to be, what is it they say, clearing something mistake. So I don't think it was.
I mean, it could have been, but it wasn't. And look, Stephen Robinson, I'm not going against him. He's just looking after the interests of St Mirren and his fans. He's going to have to make it look that way. That's what he believes. I'm going to be fair to David. That Stephen Robinson, whenever he brings a team to Ibrox, whether it be Motherwell or St Mirren, his teams will have a go. I actually think he's. I don't think he'd be a level to be a Rangers manager, but I think he could be maybe going to be a decent manager in his career.
Well, a lot of people don't think the Rangers managers up to the Rangers job, so I suppose Stephen Robertson would be as good as anybody. But,
there's no pleasing some people, but no, I just think I'll be fair at Robinson. He comes across quite well normally. He's just looking out for wherever he thinks that's a penalty. No, he's going to look out for his club and look after his side of it.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I think it's a Scotsman. They done a team of the week. Surprised, I thought, this is going to be a Celtic love fest. But to be honest with you, they did have Kasper Schmeichel. If they win 3-0, I don't know how their keeper can be sort of a man of the match. 8.0. Alistair Johnson is right back. And then centre back, they've got Alex Gojic. Now, he did have quite a good game. I can quite understand. Yeah, and he scored, obviously. So, a free ball. I mean, the goal was terrible, wasn't it?
Terrible fair point of view, but he does get up and win his header. He bullies everyone. Davy.T, to be fair, I've always found him a decent player in the league, to be honest. I don't really like playing against him, Matt Gogic.
Yeah. I think he's a good defender. I don't think he would be very good in driving you forward, to be honest with you. I don't think he's that. I think that would be his big problem.
He gets in the road. That's what he does against us, isn't it? So as an opponent, I think he's a big pain in the arse, to be honest. Saying that he doesn't get going forward. He was already going forward yesterday when he got into our box.
I suppose, yeah, that's true. I suppose that's a compliment, calling him a pain in the ass.
That's a total compliment.
Yeah. The second centre back is Leon Balogun. I was a wee bit surprised at that. I thought he was okay, but I didn't think I've seen him playing better games.
Balogun, to be fair, when we were really struggling, he kind of stepped up, to be fair. It wasn't one of his better games, but maybe that's more of a personality of him. He started doing more work than he should have had to, and he's playing on the left, which isn't his most comfortable side. So no, I thought Balogun did have a good game. I've not seen the rest of the Scottish games, but to say who was good and who wasn't, and let's be honest, there was no lot of quality. And they get
near of I, as I said, I never seen Sports Scene, so I can't really judge on them. So I'm really just going to talk about I'll name the other players, but I'll talk about the Rangers players that are in it. The left back is Alex Vala, I think you call him, Celtic. That's a young Spanish boy from Celtic. No, I don't know. As I said, I can't judge on it.
No.
And then number 6, centre mid, you've got Silver Heltna Nielsen. Now we'll have him against us. I don't know if you've seen anything of him.
Who's he play for? Sorry,
Aberdeen.
All right, no, I've seen, but no enough to comment on him. I actually think is it the McGrath. I think he's a better midfielder Aberdeen have got.
Yeah, McGrath. I said his contract's finishing in end of the season. So I would, if I was Rangers, I'd be in contact with him Christmas, trying to get him. But I will admit he's obviously from the other side of the city.
Well, it doesn't matter. I get told in Facebook or follow this morning or whatever. It doesn't matter because Alfie Coyne doesn't matter who he played for, so it shouldn't matter where you're from. According to a lot of people, when it suits them. Yeah,
well, I must admit, I've no problem with signing a Celtic supporter. They signed. I mean, it was Jock Stein. Jock Stein always said, "If I get the chance, I'll sign." He said at that time, he says, "I'll sign a Protestant." He says, "Because I know Rangers won't sign a Catholic," which is actually wrong at that time. We had signed Catholics at that time. But anyway, I don't really want to go into that conversation. No. Number 7, Mohamed Diamondi from Rangers. That's sort of a...
Diamandi actually had an alright game, but I don't think he should be in the team the week before Raskin, unless you're going to tell me Raskin's in the team.
No.
Well, no. Raskin had a better game than Diamandi. No, not Diamandi had a bad game, but Raskin had a better game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're judging in the position that Silver Heltna Nielsen was better than Raskin.
If that's how they want to look at it, I've not seen enough of the games to say if Raskin's better or no.
Luke McCowan, okay, I can go with that. I haven't seen it, but the next Rangers player is Vaclav Cherny. Now, the second half shown, I can quite see.
Even in the first half as well, David, see, as much as we weren't playing well, he was trying to get things going. He's dropping deeper and he's looking more a team player, to be fair to Cherny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually starting to pin tackles as well now, which he didn't in the first few games. I think this sort of a Scottish game, I think you get a fright, to be honest with you.
Probably he's played the German league and the Czechoslovakian league are probably a wee bit more technical than us, but he realises he's got to get about it. But not to be fair to Cherny, he's kind of adapting well, I think.
Yeah, just to finish it off, because one of the last two names, one's an ex-Rangers player and one's a Rangers supporter, is Nicky Clark of St Johnstone. So I'm surprised that he's found his form again.
Nicky Clark's a decent player. Even although Rangers weren't great at the time, it was still a lot of pressure to play for Rangers. And even although we weren't great, but he was a decent squad player, and he's had a decent career, Nicky Clark, and good on him, because you see him at some Rangers away games and that, and he'll stop for pictures with the Waynes or your pals and that, and he actually comes across a decent guy.
Yeah. And the last one is Jordan White, who obviously Ross County, a red hot Rangers supporter, from what I've heard.
Aye.
He's a good another one of these players that I think you would call him the pain in the arse as well for centre half.
In the last few years, he's been an absolute pain in the arse when he was at Hamilton Academico and now at Ross County. Jordan White, he's a decent big striker, probably similar to Nicky Clark, probably will never be Rangers level, but I'll tell you what, I don't like playing against him.
Yeah, well, that's a team, so he's in it. Another story that came out was, and I'll read this: whiskey tycoon Billy Walker has revealed he's open to investing in Rangers. The Rangers' daft veteran distiller has sent a message to Ibrox board explaining the conditions which must be met if he's to go through with a major investment. Walker, who is owner of the Glenalchie Distillers Company, has been in the whisky industry for over 50 years and is now prepared to part with some of his cash to help his beloved Rangers. But he says he's not interested in becoming a primary investor. He says if he's going to invest, he wants to have a say in the direction of the club. And then it says that here, Walker formerly owned Benriach Distillery Company, which he sold to Jack Daniels owners Brown Forman for $285 million in 2016. So he has some money to spend. See, there's another part to this story is that UEFA are going to clamp down on you're only allowed to get investors in for 70%, I think it is, of your income. Now, for me, this is, if you take it what Sky are pumping into all these English clubs, for me, this is just another move to make the gulf bigger between the top clubs and well, I mean, for me, Rangers are a top club, but the rich clubs, I'll put it that way, and the clubs, Scotland, Holland. Would you see that, Jack?
Well, we're a very big club, but we're not a big market. We're not a big commodity to anybody. So we're further away from A leagues. I mean, we'll talk about Lyon. I'm not using the excuse, but the players they can buy compared to us, and that's not even the biggest team in France. You know, we're getting further and further apart. Sky are doing this thing now where, as you said, they can pump money into the English teams. And what Sky do as well now, I don't know if you watch a lot of English Premiership games, but see the amount of adverts at half time. What they're doing is they're making a lot of, see, apart from the main game in Sky, the coverage at half time is not very good, so you don't get as much coverage if you put rubbish people on it. So instead you get more adverts, so to get more money. It's just so corrupt. But football is corrupt to me. I've always said it's corrupt, but unless you can word it properly, you come across a madman. I just think the gap's getting bigger, and even if we were to find an investor who's going to pump millions and millions into his, UEFA and that are not going to have that for a team outside the top leagues or whatever, and we'll not be allowed to. But until we're out of Scotland, which probably isn't going to happen in my lifetime, we're not going to see these mad investors coming into us.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely sickening that the teams like Luton and all these wee teams, Brentford, are making big money down there, and yeah, I mean, it's clubs for nothing, isn't it?
Aye, I remember it was years ago. It was no long, but 2006. I don't know if you remember. No friend of ours, no friend of the show, I'd imagine. But I'll use an example. Do you remember Anthony Stokes was an Arsenal player on loan at Falkirk, and he was brilliant at Falkirk, right? And it was like linked with Celtic, linked with Rangers. Before everybody says that he actually was this because he was a good young player. It was Sunderland were in the Championship in England and outbid Rangers and Celtic wages ×4. And this was like 18 months ago, you know what I mean? 18 years ago, sorry. And the gaps just get bigger and bigger. And now, as you said, teams like Luton, they could outbid us 5 times for a player's wages. That's just the way it's went. and it's turning into a bigger gap. It's no right, but it's where we are, and to compete with that level, I actually wouldn't mind if these teams get our European Super League, because it maybe means we can enjoy our own football a bit more.
I mean, looked up FC20's wage list for 2024, and I was really shocked that Proper was earning under €2,000 a week there, which really shocked me when you think that Connor Goldson was getting what, 38,000 or something like that.
I mean, that if that's true, if that's what Proper was on, that's really low. I think us paying players 38 grand a week. It sounds like a lot of money, but see if you're wanting a right good centre half, you want to keep them and stop them from going to a top league, you're going to need to pay that, and probably you're going to start paying more than that, because as you said, Luton can give a guy 75, 80 grand a week. You know, it's frightening what's happened to football, but this is a Sky thing, and yet we're dictated by Sky and we don't even make a lot of money with it. It's just it's quite sad the way the games went.
Yeah, well, what is it they say? If you're going to pay players nuts, you'll get a monkey. So I suppose that's. I don't know. I'm not going to judge Proper with that yet. But if he's going to keep his career in Scotland going, then he will need to defend a lot better than he has been up till now. Jack, I haven't got much more. In fact, I haven't got anything more. I'm sort of through the only thing was that Casemiro said it was great coming out yesterday and playing it amongst the Rangers support. He says they supported us from the first minute to the last minute, and he loved it. So hopefully he'll have many more games. I don't know whether he's a loan to buy or whether he's just a loan for a season. I haven't heard that one yet.
I'm not sure. And since Bayern Munich moved the goalpost with the Tillman thing, I don't know if you can ever guarantee you'd be getting the guy anyway if he were good. So I don't know the things. But while he's here, we'll just enjoy it at the moment, because I know we can't. Short-termism isn't always the way to look at it. With Rangers, it is short-termism, because you can only take one game at a time and you're only a couple of games away from a crisis. So I'll just enjoy big Casemiro while he's here.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Tillman is absolutely red hot for PSV these days. That was one that got away, I think.
I never thought we were keeping him. I remember hearing we could get him for $5 million. I remember seeing him at Munich can make me earn $5 million and move the goalposts here, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah. So anyway, anything you want to get off your chest before we go, Jack?
No, I think we've kind of covered most things this morning and last night. I'm quite happy with the 3 points. I hope we all have a good day, and I hope the BBC studio on Wednesday night, when they're doing the highlights of Heaton's no working for Michael Stewart and Stevie Thompson, I hope they're called.
Yeah, well, I'll back that one up as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Thanks very much. Bye.